Or what?
Are we gonna get dinged for having words?
Or just we'll start Ice Spice off for a few seconds, and then you can put something else on.
Okay.
We love Ice Spice. I love Ice Spice.
I don't know what that is.
What that is? A musical genius.
Smiley face in the comments if you're a munch.
Smiley face in the comments. All right, I gotta jump on the Instagram, and then
Do you want me to do YouTube?
yeah, that's fine. All right, Logan. What
Transition.
Transition.
Amp live.
Synthwave for today.
Synthwave's always good. All right, we're in. All right.
I got YouTube up.
Okay, goody. Welcome to the live. Where are we at? Ice Spice, absolutely. Tom, great seeing you, and Irene, my man. Right there.
Oh, sorry. I was like reading through every single thing. Oh, okay. Nice seeing you too, man.
Ayo. Sup, boys? What's next on the event list for y'all?
4-2 range day. And then we got an MSW, Volgograd, Tennessee, and Red Dawn up at Mercer Airsoft. So
Lots to do this weekend.
there's a lot going on this weekend. A lot of maneuvering. Hey, from the UK. What's going on, man?
Welcome to our live.
But yeah, there's a lot going on this weekend. This weekend's crazy.
Amped X Ice Spice munch patches soon. Eye emojis. That'd be hard. We'll get Ice Spice here at the Bolt Bash on the 14th. That would be crazy. Eric, get on it. Can you imagine performance? Dude, I mean, there you go. That's how we do it.
Our crown of 200 LARPers.
There'd be more than 200 people here.
I mean, if we're like had to that.
If we actually,
If we have
Eric,
that.
reach out. You know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. See if we can make it happen.
Live performance.
Live performance. Day 2 of Hunger Strike. Okay, Eric.
No. Stop that.
Hey, I got a question. Is the standard barrel of the CM.045 going to be good with the Polar Star Jack?
Yeah, no, I mean, so barrel length, the really cool thing with the jack and a lot of the electronic systems is you change your dwell to help with the change in barrel length. So if you have a longer barrel, you want a higher dwell. If you have a lower barrel, this is all generalities, but like if you want a shorter barrel, you turn your dwell a little bit down. Generally, when you're trying to tune stuff for performance, what you do is you start at a lot higher number, and then you keep dropping the dwell down until you start seeing an FPS drop or a consistency drop, and then you turn it up like 2 or 3. If it's a Polar Star board or if it's like a Wolverine board, you can turn up like 2 or 3 lights. So your barrel length really isn't going to matter if it's an electronic system, because the benefit of the electronic system is it's tunable for the different barrel lengths, so you have the right amount of air volume. So you should be fine with anything with the jack because you can tune it.
Look at that. Big brain. Well, hello there. Welcome back, Wes. Thank you. We are back in business.
So cool.
Do I need to buy a ticket for the Bolt Bash, or can I just show up? Either way, I'm there. So the Bolt Bash is free to everyone from 11 to 7 on October 14th here at 2250 Noble Summer Road, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15205. But if you wanted to sell stuff at the Bolt Bash, you can grab your table slot on the website. There's a link in the most recent Amped Airsoft YouTube videos bio. So if you want to sell stuff, it's like 15 bones, but you could very easily make more than $15 by selling airsoft equipment. But for anyone else, you just show up free, enjoy, look around, hang out, win things, eat food, play airsoft.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah,
So yeah, show up.
There's a lot. There's gonna be a lot to do. Normally with our expos and stuff, because we didn't have the field before, we was just kind of like a big hangout session. Now, because we have the field, it's gonna be a lot of playing happening. So you guys can have some fun time while you're.
Yeah, so pretty much you can come play like CQB, and then in between games or like just throughout the day, you can go and shop and like hang. It should be really, really fun.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping You guys really like that. He said, bet, thank you. You're very welcome. Eric said, hello, Miss Spice. I am writing to invite you to our company's annual swap meet and festival. I think after the live, I'm going to actually send a DM on the Amped account and just see what happens. Why not? You know? Why not? We'll just get hit back with like $10,000. I don't know what, like, I don't know how that actually works. You know? I mean, obviously they have to make money.
They have to make money. There's travel fee. I mean, like, you'd probably be paying like
Maybe Ice Spice is a really big airsofter.
it's probably like $300,000.
Don't you think so, Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Logan agrees.
We need to bring Lil Yachty out.
Lil Yachty.
Yeah.
I mean, we already have shit. What's the dude Eric was joking about? It's not the Eagles. It's
God damn it.
Who is it, Eric? Who do we already have?
Damn it.
It's not Led Zeppelin.
It's not Led Zeppelin. It's not the Eagles. It's
I don't know.
shit.
Either way, it'll come to me. Anyway. Well, actually, mainstream artists do private events most of the time, but it's like millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Fine by me.
Bob Dylan.
Yes!
Bob Dylan will be here.
Bob Dylan will be here in person doing a live concert.
I wish.
100% that is fact.
No, it is not. Either way. Okay. Okay, so I have a friend asked me to install a Wraith stock on his KWA Ronin T10. I ordered the AEG version, but buffer tube threading is incorrect. Is there a proprietary? Oh, is theirs a proprietary buffer tube?
So, yes, it is a proprietary buffer tube. It is a weird buffer tube, but what you can do is because of how the buffer tube goes on, it has that like adapter plate for the buffer tube to attach. You guys know what I'm talking about. For the T6 series, because it doesn't have, because you have a Ronin T10 is what he said, right?
Correct.
So the Ronin T10, it does have a regular buffer tube that's going to screw on. It is not mil spec, which is what the Type 1 UGS airsoft is. It is its own proprietary thing. What you can do is, if you want, you can try and find one of the adapter plates for the T6 that uses the PDW stock. You can take that adapter and then use a Type 2 and cut the adapter down like you would on a regular AEG that has that T-style back to the receiver, because you have to cut it down and bore a hole out when you do a UGS install. So you can use that adapter that will thread in because it's designed to. And then that's really, it's like,
I'm not trying to distract you.
it's awesome. And then
But I'm going to try it.
you can probably attach it that way. That's about the only way I can think of that you would be able to do it, since the threads are off. Or you can be kind of crazy and rethread it if you have the tools to rethread it, but I highly don't suggest doing that if you're not confident in how to do that, because then you could basically just screw it up for doing anything with it.
I mean, yeah, you could just bork the whole body.
Yeah, you would that would not be good. But that is one way to do it, creative way to do it. If you can find one of those adapters, if you need to find one of those adapters, we might be able to special order you one from KWA. So just let me know and we can maybe try and help you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Steely Dan will also be there.
Oh yes, Steely Dan. Larry Sinclair will be there. Larry Sinclair will be there. Larry's very into fishing lately, so he might be in his full fishing regalia.
Oh, too late. I already got Tom Cooties. That's a good beverage. What's a bore-up kit for an AG and what does it do? Bore-up kits are essentially, Tom, jump in if I am off the wrong path.
So
here.
about 5 seconds, I'll jump in.
I hate you. Bore-up kits are essentially just they're to get more air volume down the barrel.
Yeah.
So usually, to my understanding, is I think it's a thinner cylinder wall.
Yep.
And so it essentially allows for a wider cylinder. Formula, math, more air volume.
Yeah, that.
I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
if it's this big and then you thin it out, now it becomes this big. I don't know if you can even see that. But it's very, very small amounts.
Yeah.
It's not like this much air is now this much air. It's
Yeah.
like this to this.
It depends on what system you're using, how much air you're going to gain by doing that. But you also need to recognize that the reason is like cylinders have slots in them and they have a certain size bore is A, for structural integrity, and B, for FPS. So there's less air to push through to get the air flowing at a certain speed to then give you the FPS you want while also giving you the air volume you want. So when you upgrade to a bore-up kit, there's no slot in there because the idea of a bore-up kit is to have as much air volume as possible. You may need to compensate with a higher spring rate to gain back the FPS you want. So to overcome the resistance, the much more resistance you're dealing with. The other thing that you will need that most bore-up cylinders come with is a wider piston head as well to fit the wider diameter of the bore-up kit.
Right.
But
and usually bore-up kits come with
like the Lone X one.
Yeah, they come with the components to make it all work. Because like
cylinder
Tom
head,
said,
new cylinder head, new piston head, and probably a new nozzle sometimes. It depends on it because of the new cylinder head. But
yeah, very cool. Usually for longer barreled rifles, right?
Yeah, so if you're looking into like kind of turning, like a lot of people use them for when they're going from like a short barrel M4 and they're like, I want to get into DMR stuff with the same rifle.
Yeah.
And they don't want to buy a new rifle and they want to get a longer barrel. You will notice some negative return if you have too little volume. Mm-hmm. So that's why a bore-up kit was invented. And also if you have a longer barrel and you want more air volume, that was why it was made. It's really good to use so long as you take into consideration the things you'll have to compensate for after you add that part in. It's going to change your whole compression system. Yeah.
So very, very cool stuff. I think the other thing is if you want to run a wide bore barrel.
Yeah, that's another reason because same length, but wider bore. So then you have more volume in the cylinder.
Yeah, the cushion around the BB, and thus the whole theory behind wide bores.
Yes.
But either way, very cool.
Yes.
Great Lakes says, nice seeing you this weekend, Mr. Tom.
Yes, nice seeing you. It was fun running with you guys a little bit. The very, very little that I got to be on the field. But it was very fun running with you guys. You guys made it actually a pretty fun time for me when I was on the field, minus some night shenanigans that we didn't really get to do and I feel bad about, but it's okay. We'll get them next time.
We'll get them next time. Finally, Tom has the hamburger out.
I grabbed the shirt specifically this morning because everybody's like, why do you keep wearing regular t-shirts? We need a hamburger. I'm like, all right.
What are you laughing at?
Jared, dude.
Oh.
YouTube comment.
I know. All right, I'm just going to go one for one. I'm just reading through the before I...
just a big paragraph.
All right, so where's Cole? He's daddy. Put Logan in the frame. I want to see him flex. Wes, in 2016, you came to Cleveland using exclusively PDWs. In 2013, you're running exclusively AKs and Russian kits. Was it the maintenance that was too bad, or do you just enjoy communism?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was kind of like waiting for a few, and I'm like, I'm just gonna hit them all at once.
Oh, they both.
I was exclusively using
PDWs.
Yeah.
So it's the communism.
It must be because I like working on them. Yeah, you got me. Caught.
It is because you work on everybody's AKs in the shop too. So it is. It is just
I can't
shared
get enough.
Wes.
I can't get enough. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Guys, keep sending us AK builds. Wes will build all.
No. I don't do it. I don't do that anymore. Tom Boy Me Bob.
Boy me hoy.
West man.
What up, brother?
Oof. Unfortunately, I already ordered the Wraith one. Maybe I can figure out the type of KWA and 3D print a threaded adapter.
Yeah, that's another thing to do. I don't know if you're gonna have enough material. And the Wraith one, you're talking about the one that's threaded, right? That's for like the MTWs. Let me know, and then I'll keep answering that. But there's some things to do there. There's some stuff we can do with that.
3D printers have reached the point where they can make anything work.
Yeah,
essentially.
It's just about material. It's about enough material is the problem.
Yeah, especially with something like that where there's a very thin.
Yeah, and then it's plastic holding it on too. Which I mean, there's some high level 3D printing you can do some very strong stuff, but that little wafer bit that you're going to have to fill up that area is probably not a no-go. It's going to crack on you, and then your whole air system's going to fall out the back of your gun.
JB Weld.
Or that, actually.
No,
that's a solution to it.
Don't do it.
Do it, send me photos.
No, don't do it.
This just be like canted JD welded, not an angle.
Air compressors, man. How do they work?
Well,
You check if the wires are connected.
yeah, you check if the wires are. So we found out basically if you guys read north of the front, one of our air compressors went down. Luckily, Access Sports Wisconsin stepped up, filled every there for them. So thank you guys for stepping in when we kind of had a hiccup there. But yeah, it was a white box of electrical components and
Wires need connected.
wires from a massive amount of vibration over 2 years. The nuts backed off, and we actually thought that we had lost the key to it. And in fact, there is a bypass. So now it's working. It's great. We just had to, put those nuts back on. So,
Woo! Hello, American Milson. Bruh.
oh, bro, he's here.
He says, bruh.
Dude, you guys put on a hell of an event, is what I've heard over the weekend. Like, you guys put on a really good event, as far as I heard from my crew up there. So I'm very happy that you guys they did like a really good event. You just gonna stare at me?
I
American
wasn't there.
American Milson. They did a great event. That's all I'm saying.
well, that's expected. You're saying it
Yeah,
like
okay,
it's like not expected.
No, I'm not saying that. I was congratulating.
I wasn't there. I was in Tennessee.
You're right. You missed out. I missed out. I was at Irene. But Irene was fun. Irene was still good.
Let's see. Sorry, where are we? Any good backpack to hold an HPA tank?
There's a lot. I love backpack questions because I really like rucking and everything.
This isn't a rocky.
I know,
question.
but
You can use a freaking JanSport.
that's what I was gonna say. JanSport. Right. That's exactly. What
I just use a plastic bag, like a Giant Eagle bag.
I just I throw it over my shoulder and have the airline just kind of hold it on my
So
back.
I say this, and everyone will probably think I'm joking. You just electrical tape it to the back of your chest ring.
So okay,
I actually did that. If you get an H harness, it has the little strip of.
I need to find the photo.
It goes across the back of your back, and 113/3000, and just wrap that John on electrical tape, and it's as sturdy as can be.
There's a photo of me.
I'm telling you.
There's a much younger photo of me with a 90 cubic tank, and I forgot my backpack, but I had everything else, and I didn't have my plate carrier.
Surprise.
Yeah, and I literally T-posed, had somebody hold the tank to my back, and somebody wrapped duct tape around my body.
At that point, why wouldn't you just build backpack straps out of duct tape?
I mean, like, we could have, but it was literally that part of my body. I had to walk over to the fill station, and they cut a hole for the fill tap.
Unbelievable. Doesn't surprise me then.
I need to find that photo.
Okay. Well, good luck. I think if you find it, that'd be amazing. Either way, random. Do you guys have a boneyard parts or anything available to buy? Needing a specific upper and lower for different projects? Shoot us an email and we can look around. We don't really have like a specific boneyard section, so
We will be soon.
So yeah, hopefully. So, but for now, just shoot us an email with what you need and we can look for you. But as for an actual good backpack, it's all about budget. I mean, as most things are, what you spend is what you get in a sense. If you're looking specifically for a tank, sometimes those I think Valken makes them. They're like those tank bags.
Oh, those are great. Yeah.
If you want to just do something cheap and only designated for a tank, quite a jump up would be like a Haley flat pack or like a GMR mini map holds tanks really well.
The best one for me, what I found, is the Condor.
Well, that was gonna be my next.
Not the really tiny one, and not the
No, I know what you're
the sleeve, but like that expandable one that you definitely don't know about, that you weren't gonna say.
No, I was gonna say the one that has the laser cut molly. It's kind of rectangular.
I don't like that one.
I do.
I don't like that one because it's a little too small. The other one that's like a full-on backpack that comes with a hydro, that is like 2 sections and it's also expandable. Yeah. That's more my favorite because it's about $5 to $10 more.
I think it's too big.
I don't think it's too big. Why do you think it's too big?
The one that has the top pouch and then the lower pouch.
Yeah.
It's like this big.
It's not that big.
It's Logan.
Yeah, it's about that
It's
big.
about that big,
Not
right?
that big.
What?
That one Condor bag with the pouch up here and then the
Yeah.
other pouch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like that big.
Yeah, it's tiny.
that fits a tank.
Yeah, it's small.
I know it fits a tank. I think it's too big.
If it's a 90.
Well, it depends on
Like
what kind
a
of tank.
max.
It depends on what kind of tank.
Max.
Depends on what
A
type
max.
of tank you're running. Either way, I think Condor bags that come with hydro carriers are usually pretty good as well because they're already kind of designed for it too. Because you can run your line out where the hydro line would go, so it works quite well in my opinion.
I have to find this photo.
Is that bolt action? Is it HP or spring? It's spring.
That
So
one is
silverback.
Yep.
Yeah. So shoots really well, and it's bone stock, so can't complain at all. Missing Scar H. Yeah, Eric took it home. I just got a 3D printed PKM short barrel from Bullcraft. 10 out of 10. I've heard very good things. American Muslim says yours didn't at Northern Front or NF. I assume Northern Front.
Yeah, Northern Front.
No. Did it? Did the compressor work?
No, the compressor went down because of the wiring issues.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was our whoopsie daisy. Trying our best. This is the KWAT-10. It's the AEG thread type. I don't think the MTW Wraith would work with a gearbox style system, right?
The gearbox style system.
It's an AEG thread type. I don't think the MTW Wraith would work with a gearbox style system. So, like, if you had a gearbox HPA system, like
Yeah.
a drop-in,
Yeah.
but you're using an MTW Wraith.
It could if the threads were correct, because of you could get it to work. You would just need to take the adapter that it comes with because it comes with tapped macro line specifically for the length that the MTW has where the Inferno sits. That length is already pre-done by Wolverine. You would have to take those pieces out and put a longer piece of macro line there, so you could make it work if the threads were correct. But I don't think with the KWA it'll work.
Right.
You would need the AG version, yes.
Mini mags are good for tanks. Dual 90s, absolutely. Eric says the twin needle assault pack on offtactical.com is a good price, readily available, and high quality. I'll have to look at that one. I don't know that one off the top of my head. Will you guys be at Scorched Earth?
Oh yeah, we had Scorcher.
Okay. Yes. Fun fact, a World War II canteen pouch perfectly fits a 4500 tank.
Oh.
And it makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Regulator would
Yeah.
stick out, but
yeah. That's actually a really good one.
there you go.
Yeah.
Go to your local surplus store, spend 75 cents on a canteen pouch, and you're good. Done.
75 cents.
Tell me they're more expensive than that. No, they are. I'm just joking.
They are.
But they're definitely cheap. They definitely aren't expensive. Do you have any YouTube questions?
I haven't been looking because I've been trying to find this photo. Oh, here we go. Here's a great question. Since Logan skips leg day and has pencil legs, do you think it would benefit him to exclusively run LMGs to avoid injury on the field? Yeah, I would agree with that.
Hey, when are you clocking in for your Wendy's shift, Jaron?
Logan is a very strong boy. I'm not going to say anything negative or he will break me in half. So
I think it'd be beneficial for his safety and everybody else's if he did exactly what you're saying, Jaron.
no comment. No comment. Logan's very strong.
Stonks.
Stonks. Oh my goodness. Anything else?
Nope. And back at Logan. I don't know. Your mom has to drop me off. And we're done. All right.
Oh my. But just a reminder for everyone who is in this live stream right now, the Bolt Bash is happening October 14th. It is our annual swap meet and event. It is free to show up, hang out, win stuff. We have stuff from like 15, 20 different companies
Yeah, there's a lot of
for you
stuff.
guys to win. And you just got to be here. So check it out. This video on the YouTube channel goes over everything you need to know. Please watch it. Please.
Yes.
There's a link on our Instagram story right now.
And I show up.
I posted it this morning. I posted the link. The video's been up for a little while.
Show up. Have fun with us. There's gonna be food here. There's gonna be. Sorry, Logan just. Show up, have fun, hang out with us. There's gonna be food here. There's gonna be drinks here. There's gonna be used stuff from people that maybe you might want and
And
they
you
definitely don't want anymore.
And you can sell stuff.
And you can get rid of your stuff
For
that you
15 bones, you can make more than 15 bones.
could. Everything should be at minimum priced at $15.
No, what? Break even. No, you want multiple. You need to price accordingly.
No, just minimum $15 for one BB.
Going to a milsim, trying to decide to run an MG4 or a Wii Gas MP5. The Wii Gas MP5. That is my personal suggestion. The MG4 is pretty dope. It's a cool gun, but I love MP5s. And I think the gas blowback one is definitely one that I'd like to own at some point.
The Wii.
I've heard good things about it.
The Wii Gas MP5 is really cool. Is there another Gas MP5? I think there's one, but I can't think of it.
If I'm going to take just a wild shot in the dark, it'd be KJW.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think there was one other person that made it other than Wii, but I would run that. If you have enough mags and you're carrying enough gas to refill and your gun's doing well, I would do it before winter fully swings in whatever part of the country you're in, because right now the fall weather is actually really good for gas blowbacks because it's not too hot, you're not gonna have overpressure in your mags, it's not too cold, they're not gonna not work. Now's a really good time to use them while you still have the chance, because in the winter they're just not usable unless you're playing indoors. I would do that while you still have the chance if you're going to a milsim right around that.
Get yourself a Sistema TW5. I'm kidding.
Yeah, because that's obtainable.
They're
right
not.
now. Yeah, that's obtainable.
Sucks.
Get a GBLS. Those are.
But it's not MP5.
Oh, well.
He wants an MP5.
Get a GHK.
He's in North Carolina, so you're Gucci. North Carolina doesn't get super cold.
Oh,
it
no, you're
does.
fine. Even the next 2 months, you're probably fine.
So, yeah. I think you'd be cool with the MP5.
Yeah.
I think it'd be money well spent.
If you're doing the MG4,
Godspeed.
Godspeed Spider-Man.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
The MG4 is awesome. It looks great.
And it actually shoots quite good stock.
It shoots really well stock. The internal magazine on it can jam up. And I would have a dejamming rod and know how to take it apart. At the barrel, at least take the barrel off. Know how to do that because the internal magazine can jam up. That's the biggest problem.
I do be doing that.
So if you are going to run it, just keep that in mind and just have a little flathead and maybe a dejamming rod, and then you're good to go. The thing runs great. But yeah, definitely keep that in mind if you're running that gun.
But yeah, I like the MP5. Tom, when you built your VSS, how did you not get burnt out when it wouldn't work? Did you take breaks from working on it and whatnot?
Surprisingly, okay, even the LCT, surprisingly for me, when I built the VSS, I didn't have that big of a problem with mine when I built it. The nozzle alignment, when I HPA'd it, dropped right in. It was great.
Lucky.
No, I got very lucky. But even when I switched over from the electronic system I had in there to the mechanical system, it still dropped right in, worked out. I want to say there was one part. There were two parts to the Mancraft system I had to modify on the VSS. The selector switch in the grip I had to actually remove because the length of pull to activate the Mancraft would hit it halfway through the stroke. And so I had to cut it out so I could pull the trigger the whole way back and activate the Mancraft. So that was one thing I had to do with the mechanical system. And then I'll talk about the electronic. The other thing I had to do was I had to do a little bit of file work on one of the pins in the gearbox because the Mancraft did come as a new version 3 gearbox. I had to do a little bit of file work on one of the pin holes so that it would fit in properly.
Really?
Yeah, just because, I don't know, it's just a VSS versus a regular AK. that was about all I had to do though, and I'm super happy with the Mancraft version of it because of the problems I have with the electronic. I had an F2 in it, shot really well, but my complaint was that because of how the VSS's electronics were originally run, there wasn't another spot to put the FCU and battery and wire harness in there other than where the original battery would go, and you need a tri-panel battery to go in the suppressor area of it. And the FCU and the battery, like the HPA battery, you have to actually modify the HPA battery to fit flat in that area. That was the main reason I switched away from it. It wasn't that it didn't perform, because the F2 shoots great, but it just, I had to do so much modification. I had to change the battery so many times. It just wasn't the best setup, and just getting away from a battery so I didn't have to take the suppressor off all the time to fiddle around with it was so much less of a headache. The only other problem I had was with the magazines. The springs they wouldn't feed all the way, so I had to switch over to that. I had to modify the maple leaf ones. Yes, as I'm talking, the gun was a headache, but mainly because of the magazines, I would say, is the biggest headache. And you just have to put some maple airsoft supply ones and just modify them with some pliers to put them in.
Lovely.
It is a pain in the butt, but at the end of the day, it's the gun I get the most like, oh my god, is that a VSS? Like, it's the most like iconic gun that I probably
That
bring to the
was
field.
how Ryan's Mancraft PDIK
Yeah.
VSS was. I feel like the LCT had a whole different line of issues. It
Okay.
dropped right in.
Yeah.
The safety.
For reference, I have a King Arms. And
Yeah.
When they did the build, it was on LCT.
I
Okay, when he did the build
Ryan.
for Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I need clarification
Yes.
on it. No, I'm just kidding. But regardless, it drops right in, and it actually like went in no problems. The issue that arose with that gun is the charging handle. So since you on the top of a LCT gearbox you have that black piece of metal
Yeah.
that holds the gearbox shell together. On the VSS and ASVAL, there's a tab that sticks straight up. So if the plate's running like this, there's a tab straight up.
Yeah.
And there's a metal rod that runs through it that the charging handle rides on.
Yeah.
The Mancraft thickness of the shell can't support.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had to drill and tap to put that plate on the top so I could run the charging handle through.
We use just like regular like gearbox screws or like grub screws.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So that was the biggest pain for that. So
Okay.
they're all different.
AK bodies, any of the family of AKs, I know the ASVAL and the VSS are very far away from an AK, but any of those guns there's such little niche changes by brand, honestly by brand.
Yeah.
With
that's-
those. Like
that's usually all it
M4s
is.
generally across the board brand by brand, other than the selector switch, is very similar. The low receiver, upper receiver is very, very similar across the board. You could pretty much do the same thing with any different brand of M4 version 2 gearbox.
Yeah. But it's a fun build. I'm glad it's done. It does work well.
It shoots great.
Yeah, they shoot very
They
far.
shoot really good, and then like you can dampen them a lot, and they're very quiet. I got a few over here. Love you guys. Have a great day, Grizzly. What's up, buddy? I'll see you soon. Hey guys, I have been a sub for a while. I have this question: do you guys believe that AI can improve airsoft in any way? AI improve airsoft? Yeah, if you're talking about like maybe AI integration to heads-up displays or sensors to try and identify like guys downrange or like two modules talking to each other. Maybe.
I think it could enhance gameplay.
Yeah.
With objectives.
So I don't know if AI.
Maybe I'm thinking of it incorrectly.
So like AI is like a computer that has a system that like this is how I think of AI. There's program systems like let's take a gate MOSFET. Those are all programmed to do certain things based off a certain input. That's all programmed. AI is like taking that a next step further. It has program that it can work off of, and then the AI part of it is like, well, I can identify a little bit more outside of the realm of the binary of the programming, and be like, well, it'll also apply to this. I don't know how AI exactly would work with airsoft other than like what you said with objectives.
That's really all I can see.
Yeah.
Where the objectives are a little bit more reactionary rather than push button, score goes up.
Yeah,
you could make it a little bit more complex.
the strikers or the strike system that a few fields are using, they use RFID chips. I know Big House Milsim uses them for their games and stuff. That's a really cool improvement that I've seen to like objectives. It's a really, really cool system using RFID chips. You can do a lot of trackable stuff. You can change stuff on the fly. Adding AI into that could definitely be cool. It could be more adaptive, I guess,
That's
to
kind
the
of my
experience.
mental.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a very interesting. That's a very interesting thing to try and implement into a game that doesn't, as much as it might seem, there's not a lot of technology in the surrounding field of airsoft. There's the guns themselves, but that's about it. The rest is all coordinated by staff.
Kind of clunky technology.
Yeah, it's all like radios and reliant on people and coordination. That's about it. I mean, maybe using ATACs and maybe incorporating like AI into a mapping software, that might be interesting. That might be, that might be interesting. But that would be about the only way that I could see AI being integrated in.
Right. Very cool question, though. Speaking of indoor play, yes, the Airsoft Arena. You ever heard of it?
No.
I have. It's right there.
It's right there.
It's right outside.
It's right, like
Indoors
that way
outside.
and kind of that way.
Go check them out. Airsoft Arena. We put a lot of effort into it, and we're making cosmetic improvements as we speak. So
yeah, there's actually been a lot of improvements lately. If you guys have been to the field originally and then haven't been in a few weeks or months, there's windows that have been cut out. There's been different barricades that have been put up. There's been
paint,
half walls cut to like kind of make the flow better. It's actually, I was walking through it the other day to try and do some like night vision testing. I was just walking around. I was like, wow, this flows.
It's different. Yeah. It's changed quite a bit. It's really cool. So check it out, please.
Come to the Boat Bash and check it out.
Yeah. Do both. Twofer. MP40 versus Thompson versus Sten. Which would you rock? Thompson. I love the Thompson.
So wait, what, MP40?
Yeah, versus Thompson versus Sten. I love the Thompson. I'm sold. Easy.
I really like the MP40.
Oh, me too.
The Thompson's just this classic, iconic gun.
Well, so are all of them. That's the
they
problem.
Are, but they're not as. The other guns he named was more like wartime stuff. The Thompson is like this classic, like mafia gun. It is this iconic outside of just what it was built for.
Well, I don't think we're talking about that one because we're comparing them on the bat. Like the Sten and the MP40 never had that variable.
Okay, in that case, I would go with the MP40 because it's a little bit more compact, and I think I just like the maneuverability of it versus the Thompson.
Understandable.
That would be my answer. But I guess if I had a saw, like a hand saw, I could make it more adaptable because it's made out of wood and not metal.
You could bring the stock down a little bit, yeah. Afternoon, gentlemen. Afternoon. Thank you for joining us in this beautiful day. Just run a Kythera V3 in an LCT VSS bomb build. I can only imagine. I mean, the Kytheras shoot really well. They function well.
Yeah.
And you can utilize your stock gearbox shell, which makes the problems we're having irrelevant.
Yeah. So
I think they're both great.
The reason I went with Mancraft was honestly a little bit more of research and development to try and be more familiar with the system I haven't really worked with that much. And he was doing some testing with some AKs. He had the 74N is what you put it in.
With what? The PDIK?
Yeah, the PDIK.
Yeah, an LCT 74.
And then the benefit, like you said, is the Kythera can just fit right into the regular gearbox. So you don't have to do any modifications or anything to the gearbox or anything. It's just going to, drop right in. There might be some modifications you need to do for the airline area, which I had to do.
Same.
But yeah, they're good. The only difference I would say that I like about the PDIK in this configuration specifically is it's for a DMR roll, and the PDIK cylinder area, the air volume out of a mechanical system is bigger and can handle higher pressures than the Kythera can. The Kythera is just regular for regular AK stuff, but if I'm building it out for a DMR roll, I liked that fact of the PDIK system, that it was just more air volume for the roll that I was using it for.
We need a GBB ASVAL / VSS.
Yeah, that
Facts.
would be sick. Yes.
Facts. That would be so dope.
GHK, get on it if you watch these lives.
Dude.
Please,
Freaking
please.
gas blowback VSS. I would get our ASVAL.
I would get the VSS and just like see how much I could crank it and just make it.
I'd want an
ASVAL.
ASVAL 100%. Indoor.
No, I put it. Oh my god, I would like actually try and snipe with that thing. It would not be consistent at all. It would not be consistent at all enough to actually do some real sniper work with it. But man, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Well, boys, I have to head back to work. Have a great day and be safe. You
Okay.
too, man.
Sounds
Thanks
good,
for
man.
always stopping in. Thoughts on the Empire HUD display? I just found out about that last night. I'm excited to this potential it provides to the sport, but I couldn't find a lot about it.
There's not a lot about that, and Dye had one too. There's not a lot about it. It's a really, I don't know if they made it as like a marketing hype thing, like, hey, look what we can try and do. There was a really big push, I would say like 4 years ago, right before COVID, of HUD integration into paintball masks, and it was made to be like integrated into like a round counter or like a status bar. It didn't have a lot of like integrated features unless your buddies also had the same masks, and even then there wasn't a lot of back-end support for it. So it was really, if you had any problems with it, there wasn't a lot of support to try and correct those problems. It's a really interesting idea and it's a really cool design, but I think the limitation is you have, like, again, Gate is a company that has their status module, but they're not a mask company, so they don't really have the tooling and everything in the background to work with those type of systems that fit onto your head. It would be really cool to see a partnership between like a company that does like a lot of integrated status stuff like Gate and a company like Dye, Empire, or HK. That would be really cool to see. But if they don't have the back end support to support the technology kind of just dies off, which kind of sucks because that's a really cool idea. Psyonix had an AI or an augmented reality component to it when it first came out, which was really cool. But again, they didn't have the support for it, and they kind of backtracked off of it, and it died off. I love to see those types of things, but again, I feel like they just die off really quickly because they don't have the support once it starts to get to scale.
I think a lot of people, they hear that a HUD display and say, wow, this is going to be so useful, like this is going to be awesome. And it's kind of like underwhelming because from video games and like movies, we see what a HUD display is bringing. Yeah. And then in reality, it's like, tells me what the temperature is outside, or something silly like that.
I mean, look at other industries that they're trying to implement similar stuff. So HUD displays are pretty much augmented reality, right? Like there's some type of overlay into your view with your regular vision. So like, look at other industries like the gaming industry or the construction industry. They're trying to work on augmented reality stuff to help build buildings better and stuff like that. That hasn't even really taken off that far yet. And to try and implement it into a gaming system in Airsoft, kind of it makes sense.
It does.
But if the technology is not really there in bigger industries, it kind of falls flat in the smaller ones where there's not so much of a drive to continue to develop it.
Yeah, when there's how I word it, Airsoft doesn't get like the leftovers of technology, but we almost need a specific technology to become mainstream, mass produced, and on the market for a certain amount of time before it becomes economically like smart for a company to pick it up and try to implement it into Airsoft. Yeah. But to try to do things in line with, say, construction or just anything on that scale, it's
healthcare.
It's never going to be profitable or even maintainable for any company. Yeah, to just do it for Airsoft. Yeah. So I think maybe in a couple of years, if it does take off and it starts to become very consistent amongst like mainstream jobs and things like that, we'll see it come into Airsoft.
The coolest thing I've seen that actually seems like it could work, that's a HUD, like a heads-up display kind of thing, is, and this actually came from the Ukraine war footage, there was a drone operator that had like a flip down monocular thing, and he could see his drone footage in his binocular. That's something that's like cool that you could use that for airsoft purposes.
I agree.
That would be something really cool, actually. If we could, I want to know what that monocular is. If you guys know what it is, I really want to know what it is because I really want to play around with it.
That would be very cool.
That would be really, really cool.
I think drones are very underutilized.
Well, they're underutilized, but they're also like hard to allow. So like we were at Muscatatuck, right? That's a DoD facility.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately were like, no drones, because there was operations happening at a different part of the facility that if you flew your drone up high enough, you weren't allowed to get footage of that. So
Which makes sense.
That makes complete sense. But then you go to like a paintball field and somehow it's close enough to an airport, so that's restricted airspace.
It's true.
I would love to see more drones, and especially people who have the licenses to use the drones the right way, because then you're not going to be restricted when you're trying to use them, and other people are going to eventually be able to use them more.
Gun Gamers Production used them really well.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that was an exact example of a really good use of a drone, but it's also people who know how to fly drones.
Right.
Like Eric and Kyle and all those guys, they think a lot outside of just the realm of I'm going to do a game. They think about longevity of their company too, of I'm going to do this game and I want to be able to do consistent stuff later on down the road, so I don't want to get screwed up right now with legal stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I think drones at some point will have a more consistent use. But as of now, we're using what we got.
Oh, the monocular is Pirate Eye FPV monocular. Oh my God, thank you. I'm going to go look at that.
Screenshot that.
Yep.
Screenshot it, Tom. Save it for later. This is why we love you guys.
Thank you. That is awesome.
very
I'm going to
smart.
go look at that now.
Tom's gonna be walking around like,
I'm just going to walk
Pirate
around
Eye.
with it all day and not even like turn it on.
oh no, Logan. Never mind. This is either dead or it ran out of battery.
I must have
We're
done.
not green anymore.
Yeah, it's out of battery.
It did.
Sorry, everyone. Battery dead.
It's whatever. We still look good.
It looks okay. But either way, that is cool. I'm glad somebody knew what that was.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it lasted 50 minutes.
Well, normally it's on the whole time.
Yeah, I just must. You used it last week though, right?
Yep.
So it has about 2 hours
Okay,
of consistent runtime, which isn't bad. It's almost as bright as it can go to.
We used it last week. Yeah, we used it in the same setup.
Yeah. So better have it at AJ.
What, the monocular? It's like, all right, fine.
He says fine. All right, you heard it here first, folks.
I need to get a drone then.
Get a drone.
I need to find somebody with a drone.
Les has a drone.
Where's she at?
DJI something.
Les, I'm stealing your drone.
It's a nice drone, from what I understand. I've never flown a drone.
I love drones.
I definitely should, because they film a different angle that is just, I don't know.
I love drones. I love drones if you have like a first-person view to fly them around with. 'Cause
Oh.
that's just a whole nother level.
Well,
of
I'm
using a
talking
drone.
about it's like videography.
Oh no, my buddies.
I love that.
I have like 2 or 3 buddies that do like surveying with drones, and it's really cool what they can do. Just the regulations around them are really kind of weird. They're like, yeah, if I launch on the top of a mountain, I can come down as far as I want, and I can only go like 1,000 feet higher than the top of the mountain. But if I launch at the base of the mountain, I can only go up 1,000 feet, and it like records where you launch from. It's like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but at the end of it, like that was one of the weird ones. I was like, why does that matter?
Yeah.
So like my buddy literally hiked up higher than us, launched his drone, and then walked further down with his drone. It's weird. Yeah.
Strange stuff. I got your sweatshirt, by the way.
Oh, all right. Well, you better give it to me at AJ. I know you're gonna like puss out on me on that too. Billy. Whoa, Billy.
And her drone is like $1,200.
What?
It's a DJI.
Yeah, but I thought those were like 600.
I mean, some of them.
All right, I'm
Depends
stealing it.
Depends on which one it is.
And I will have collateral.
Take one tube.
Yeah, here's one of my binoculars, so I can use your drone.
Well, you're only gonna be able to use a binocular because you're gonna have the freaking
That's true.
patch thing.
Wait, never. I was like, wait, we need to put a thermal on the drone.
It's the government. What does make sense with them?
Yeah, that's true. That would be very, very true.
Valid point.
Very, very true.
We aren't going any deeper into that.
Oh, so many comments.
Restrict. But yes.
Tom, I'll steal it in exchange for my night eyes.
Yeah, but see, this is starting to become. Remember how I was getting hammered about the gun wall every week? You're getting hammered about this night vision every week.
Well, I saw him this weekend, and somehow we just didn't talk about that. I don't know why we didn't.
Don't look at me.
I don't know why we didn't
Don't
talk
look at
about that.
me.
It's only like the second he brought it up, I had to, go fight somebody in the opposite direction.
Fighting people. What kind of event was this?
It was actually Irene was really cool. Mutzi is still one of my favorite AOs. I just wish we could have used a little bit more flanking routes.
Yeah.
That was about the only thing I had to say about it.
Homeland Security has entered the chat. That's why we say, yep.
We are good civilians.
Just found out a gas valve is coming out. I saw it at IWA.
From who?
I don't know. IWA?
Is it? No, he was the
event?
The event.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, but is it LCT? Because I was wondering if they were gonna
Who's
come
making it?
Because I know they've dropped some stuff about different cool things, but I didn't know they were making gas blowback stuff.
Gas blowback valve.
Please. And then
It's happening.
and then we put a wooden stock on it, so it's a VSS.
I mean, you do whatever your little heart desires.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
But are you going to be able to? Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Yeah, it's just the same quick detach. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, but you're not going to paint it, so it's going to be lame.
Yeah, I'm gonna put wood. I'm gonna put a wood stock on it. Then I don't have to paint it.
He doesn't speak Dutch.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
VFC probably, since they've been on a big GBB trend this year.
They have. They definitely have.
It's valid.
And a lot of their GBBs are pretty rock solid too. They're not coming out with some stuff and then it just breaks and then you have no parts availability. They're coming out with some stuff that's actually pretty legit. Their 416 is a very big example of that.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I like to see more GBBs hit the market. Even if they're not like super duper popular, it's nice to have the option out there.
Yeah, I really do like the GBBs. If you're going to make a GBB nowadays, make it so that it accepts CO2.
Correct.
All I'm going to say. If you're going to make a GBB, make it accept CO2 and not just dust or gas or green gas. And I understand the restrictions that happen in the areas that develop these guns because I think you can only have so much pressure in the magazines for some reason. That's why TM uses dust or gas on a lot of stuff. But give me CO2 mags so I don't have a lot of the problems I have with gas blowbacks.
And when you make a gun, make sure you manufacture the spare mags.
Yes, please. And spare parts in general. If you make a new gun, have the parts availability of spare parts, especially the proprietary things. And gas blowbacks, there's a ton of proprietary parts in them.
Correct.
I think the Mavic 3 with drone hack software is my recommendation. Dude, you are a gold star right now. I love you for telling me this.
Not my good noodle star.
No, this guy's a good noodle.
It's a good noodle.
This guy's a good noodle. This guy gets it. DPS H41 GBB would be great. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Very cool.
We get asked all the time, why isn't there more World War II guns? It's they're really cool. But, I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people would run them at modern events. I think a lot of people, who are doing modern events want to run a modern setup because that's more what they have.
They're a novelty.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to justify that manufacturing.
Yes.
They can use a pre-existing gearbox shell, build a cheap body around it, put the gearbox shell in.
Yes.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yes.
GBL is working on a gas PPSH with drone.
That'll be interesting. Their hop-up units are pretty good. Be very interested to see that.
These are the newest prizes if you want to show them off.
All right, yeah.
Coming here with 3 minutes
3 minutes left.
From Project Manifold.
Well, amped be at 1861.
Yes, amps will be at 1861 with a working compressor for you
Oh, shoot.
and a working satellite dish to provide internet for our needs. Wow, Jesus.
Project Manticore.
What
Some giveaways. This is a patch wall, by the way. Just remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
So, for you guys. This is stuff you can win at the Bolt Bash for free.
Wow.
These patches are ginormous, for starters. I mean, that's a patch. What is this one?
Mechanical Venom.
Oh, no, where's the Gundam? Let me see. No. Oh, that's, don't tell me. Venom and Carnage.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a Gundam style.
The bike is killer.
Yep.
The bike is insane.
So, and some smaller patches for you guys. But all this stuff is free to win. And I dropped a few patches. They're the same as this one.
Yeah.
And patch wall.
And
That's this.
this
Yeah,
is the coolest one to me.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's really cool.
So, more stuff is still on the way. So, don't miss the Bolt Bash. Please.
That's really cool.
Reject modern, embrace tradition. But yes, come to the Bolt Bash, win stuff. Thank you to Project Manifold for sending us these. This is sick. I want one for myself. I don't even want to put patches on it. I just want it.
That's really cool.
Remember, no Russian. That almost fits perfectly. There you go. There it is. Oh, it even says it down there. Remember, no Russian. That's cool. Neat. Win this. And you can literally be like, oh, no, I don't know where I'm going to put this patch I won. And then you just blam.
I'm actually impressed that that stayed.
What do you mean? It's a patch wall.
I know,
Of
but
course
it's just like not a lot of.
Wham!
Wow.
That's quality right there.
That's actually really nice.
No, it does actually work. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So, we're down to the last minute of the Bolt Bash. Eric, thank you for bringing these prizes in for the very last minute. You always learn the most and the stuff we don't say anywhere else on the live.
Yep.
So tell your friends, come to the live, learn things that doesn't get said anywhere else. And every week, 1 o'clock on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all those.
I don't think we're on Facebook anymore.
Okay, Facebook hates
really
us.
doesn't like
Facebook
us.
hates us.
Facebook
But-
really doesn't like us.
Come back next week and come to our Bolt Bash and play at our indoor CQB facility. So see you guys next week.